happy Hanukkah to everybody. I hope everybody is enjoying their donuts, their latkes, getting their fill of all the Hanukkah goodies. We've just, of course, lit candles. And we have a requirement to light the candles, and not only to light them and to leave them, but to ensure that they actually burn for at least half an hour. Now what happens, it may not happen to you, but it's definitely happened to us on occasion. What happens if you put in all the effort, you make sure that you have enough oil, that your candles are big enough, you light the candles, they're definitely going to burn for half an hour. All of a sudden something unexpected happens, whether it's a child or a wind or something else, something unexpected happens and suddenly the candles blow out and there's no way to relight them, or just, does one have to relight them? So the answer is no. One doesn't have to relight them. Might be a nice thing to do, you can put them back on and that's lovely, but actually in terms of the mitzvah itself, the commandment of Hanukkah, you've already fulfilled it. That's what the Talmud refers to as hadlaka osa mitzvah. It is the lighting that does the mitzvah, that creates the mitzvah, and once you have done it with enough time that you've left, in a sense, you have put in your effort and you have done what you possibly could in order to ensure that this commandment was done properly, then what happens afterwards is not really your problem. And I think this is a wonderful lesson for all of us, particularly in the year 2020. We're sort of reaching the end of what has been a challenging year. And in some ways, as we approach a new year, as we approach a new calendar year, a new secular year, we begin with some plans. At the beginning of 2020, we might have had all sorts of ideas of what we were going to do, all sorts of exciting projects, all sorts of ways in which we were going to make our own lives better, make others' lives better, to be able to achieve things in this year. And then, of course, 2020 went the way that none of us expected. 2020 has thrown all sorts of challenges at us, and many of our plans will have simply gone awry. There is no way that we were able to fulfill, able to accomplish perhaps the things that we had hoped to and we had expected to. But what Hanukkah lighting is teaching us is that all that can be expected of us is to try our very best, to really put in that effort to make those plans happen. If crazy things happen that actually stop them from happening, then we have done our part, we have done our very best, and all we can do is to pick up and try once again. And all of the plans and all of the hopes that we may have had for 2020, we simply start again, start anew at the next possible opportunity. There's no need for us to feel bad. There's no need for us to look back and think about what could have been, or what might have been, or what the world would have looked like if, but, and when. But the reality is that we tried our best. As long as we put in our very best effort to make sure that everything goes to plan, success or failure is in God's hands. Ultimately, whether something actually comes to fruition or not is not in our hands. All we have to do is to decide, to act, and to act in the best way possible, maximizing all we can and simply leaving the rest up to the boss himself. Wishing everybody a Shabbat Shalom and a Hanukkah Sameach.